Good morning, everyone. I'm Emanuela Saracino from the Institute for the Organic Synthesis and Photoreactivity of the Italian Research Council of Bologna. I'm an expert in neuroscience and always fascinated by scientific dissemination. Our contributor today will incentivize the use of nudging to increase the consumption of vegetables and legumes in children's diet. We will report a recent case study and preliminary results obtained in the context of the project Farm Vegetables, founded by Caripol Foundation. The project involved experts from the University of Milano, University Cattolica, and CNR. The ambitious project put together sociology, chemistries, nutritionists, and biology. Childhood obesity is a growing concern in industrialized countries with severe health and economical consequences. Unfortunately, Italy has one of the highest childhood obesity rates in European, alongside Cyprus, Greece, Malta, and Spain. Poor dietary habits, including high sugar and fat intake and low vegetables and legume consumption, contribute significantly to the problem. The habits at the state of the art among children increase the risk of diseases such as diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and metabolic syndrome, impair cognitive development and educational attainment that persists into adulthood, leading to long-term health and economic consequences. Several information campaigns and school-based interventions have been proposed in many European and ex-European countries to promote healthy habits and food, particularly the consumption of vegetables and legumes, but their effectiveness in changing children's food behaviors has been limited and sometimes questioned. In this context that we propose nudging-based field experiments as a novel approach. Nudging is a behavioral science technique born in 2008 and presented as first in the book Improving Decisions About Health, Wealth and Happiness by Richard Taylor and Kees Hussein. The aims at influence choices without restricting options, with the advantage to be simple, cost-effectiveness, and easily implementable, that can be target intuitive and automatic behaviors, and that can be applied in multiple contexts. On the basis of this concept that we investigated on a case study where nudging strategies have been implemented into Italian schools, specifically the setup here represented, the experiment has been conducted into 3 primary schools in Lombardy and specifically in Milano, involving around 1,000 children aged between 6 and 11 years old. The first school was the control, so the baseline for the data collection. Other 2 schools are the schools where have been implementing the nudging strategies. In both of them, meaning in all of the 3 schools, has been used media priming and print priming. For over 10 weeks, all this priming has been tested. The 10 weeks has been divided into pre-intervention, intervention, and post-intervention phases. After the first part, the data collection started, and after that, the data start to be analyzed. The collection of data was made by measuring vegetables and legumes consumption by the plate waste method, so by weighting leftovers into the 3 schools. As mentioned, the nudges choose to conduct the following experiments are the comic storytelling as media priming and physical environment modification as physical priming. The story has been divided into 3 parts, each of them was read at school before going into canteen, while print priming were disposed into 3 canteen environments for all the duration of the experiment. How it is born the idea of the comic? Firstly, we thought about how to communicate science and good habits to children, and by use also social experiments already cited by literature that comic, a literary genre born in 1895 and characterized by a language composed mainly of images and a simple text, has been chosen. The story has been collected into the Comic Science edited by CNR. This comic and science collection is born in 2012 with the aim to put together science with dissemination and collect periodic volumes. The characters are Maria, that is like vegetables, and Paco, that loves vegetables, transported into a video game world. The story is rich of pop references. See, for example, how are the families freely inspired by elements well known to both new and old generations, such as the timeless Pac-Man and Super Mario. The aim, in this case, was to involve also the family, because change in food habits must include what happens at home and not just into the school. The family serves as a fundamental point of references for children's education, for these reasons that in the story the figure of the mom is also important. The mom that explains the importance to Maria of the consumption of vegetables and legumes. Another aspect that we consider important was the fact that children learn also by imitating their hero. As for example, we were inspired by Popeye's influence on spinach consumption and energy. Similarly, we think about the potential of the color of vegetables like a rainbow, that mirroring the idea of force and energy in the video game for Maria and Paco. The increased consumption of vegetables boosts their energy, symbolized by a multicolored energy bar. On the other part, the physical primering in school canteen consisted into the modification in the canteen environment to promote vegetables and legumes consumption by the use of stickers, posters, and strategic food placement to make vegetables more visually appealing. The idea was to create positive association with vegetables and legume consumption. Very preliminary results and observations demonstrate that comic media priming significantly increased the vegetables and legumes consumption among all age groups, while print priming was effectively mainly for younger children. Nudging-based interventions showed potential for sustained behavioral change, and results seem to open the way to future direction in which nudges may be helpful in social strategy related to healthy habits. As future direction, we would like the expansion to other schools across Italy for broader data collection and validation. We would like to promote the development of long-term nudging strategies to sustain dietary improvements and the integration of findings into national and local school policies to address the childhood obesity. In conclusion, we can say that nudging strategies provide an innovative and effectively scalable approach to tackling childhood obesity, and the behavioral-based intervention, such as the one tested, can complement traditional nutrition education. Future national and international studies will be developed to increase statistical analysis and to test different social contexts and habits. With this, we would like to thank you for your attention and to thank all the partners of the project. And we would like to cite Nelson Mandela with an important sentence saying that the education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.